Revenge films.
I lived together with my husband. I worked at the same company with him. That is how he and I met. We hit it off right away and we became closer. I was attracted to his dedication to his work and the way he understood the nature of my work. We dated for a while and we ended up getting married. We were blessed with a studious son who finished school and is now working. Since our son started living on his own, my husband and I currently enjoying our leisurely and happy days. However, there is one thing that I am concerned about. It is his work environment. My husband's workplace is famous for being insidious, that even I from a different workplace heard about it. With that kind of work environment, I'm sure that my husband was very stressed out. However, he never uttered a single word of complaint. Instead, he always acted like he was happy. Whenever he was with me, I respected that attitude of his, and I felt very grateful from the bottom of my heart that he was my husband. But then, one day, since I changed my job terms from full-time to part-time, most of my work was in the afternoon. Then one day, while I was preparing for my part-time job, my husband came home for some reason. Huh? Why is he home at this hour? Maybe something happened? That was what I thought when I saw him come home early. But before I could say a word, my husband smiled and said,
"I fought with my superior and got fired."
I asked him what the fight was about, to which he replied that he and his supervisor never got along with anything, and he finally ran out of patience and they ended up having a fierce fight.
That fight was the catalyst for me to quit, so I think it's just the right timing.
I'm sure you'll be fine since you have a stunning career. You'll find a new job in no time. That's what I said to my husband. Honestly, my husband worked so hard in that insidious workplace to provide for our family. So I thought it was now my time to provide for him. Since our son was now independently living on his own, all I have to provide for now is my husband and myself. I can do that with my part-time job salary, as well as the retirement and unemployment insurance. With that opportunity, I wanted my husband to relax and enjoy the fruits of his labor. However, my husband quit his job, and a few days later, Jennifer, my coworker, walked to my desk and told me something shocking.
I feel sorry for you. How unlucky for you to have such a husband.
Huh? At first, I had no idea what she was talking about, but I thought what she meant was about my husband getting fired. So this is how I replied. Oh, you know about that? Well, I think of giving George some time to relax until he finds a new job, to which Jennifer replied with a puzzled expression.
What? You forgave your husband? I can't believe it! How could you forgive him for what he has done to you?
Huh? What do you mean?
Oh, it's nothing. Please forget I said anything.
After that, Delilah rushed back to her desk. However, I sensed that she was trying to hide something, so I ran after her and bombarded her with questions. That's when she told me something very shocking, that I thought I heard her wrong. What? My husband is cheating on me? And what's more is that he's having an affair with Crystal. Crystal has a reputation of being a famous bitch, that even my coworkers know about her. She's all face but no brains, the type of woman who sleeps with anyone. Jennifer explained to me what she had heard, but I still can't comprehend what was happening. I think that's how shocked I was by the situation. How could I not be shocked when my husband and I were married for more than 2 decades and our son is now independently living on his own? But to hear of my husband having an affair? Since when has this been going on? Filled with disgusting thoughts, my heart started feeling woozy and I felt like I was about to throw up. Even acting that alone is unforgivable. However, my husband's evil side didn't end there. He and Crystal used their power at work to target a new recruit and harass that person. The victim ended up quitting his job. However, the new recruit is afraid of George, who is his superior, and Crystal, who sleeps with any man. Too scared to disobey, the new recruit ended up quitting his job without saying a word. Rumors also say that there was an employee who got severely depressed and stopped going to work. You're telling the truth, right?
Yes, I'm afraid so. It might be difficult for you, but it's true. It's just that no one talks about it, even though almost everyone knows about it.
Then Jennifer divulged to me the real reason why my husband got fired. My husband was not necessarily a section chief nor the department head, but Apparently, since my husband was a man of some standing at the workplace, it was difficult for the other employees to talk about the affair in public. But then the two of them started touching each other in public. Seeing what was happening, all the patience that the employees had been holding back exploded. One of them went to Human Resource Management and reported what was happening. That was how my husband got fired from his job. The night after I learned the shocking truth, I couldn't see my husband in the eyes. He's a very kind and loving husband in front of me, but he's actually cheating on me. And he even harassed new recruits using his power. I was utterly shocked that night that I couldn't sleep the whole night. The next day, I couldn't sit still, so I decided to do something about it. I went to my husband's workplace. I had been there several times already, so I was able to somehow get inside. There, I was able to talk to one of the men in the company. "I apologize for taking time off your busy schedule," I said with my head down, to which the man started talking in frustration.
I still can't forgive him to this day of what your husband and Crystal did to me. That new recruit worked hard and did his best at his job. Since the day he came to work with us, he diligently learned his work, and I was really fond of him. But those two heartless souls started bullying him, saying things like his voice is too loud and his energy's too much. That it disgusts them. By the time I knew it, he was already depressed and stopped coming to work. His mother called and told me in tears, saying that her son got severely depressed and he might not be able to get back into the workforce.
Hearing those words from the man, my head went all black. My husband did not only betray me, but he also ruined the life of a kid and hard-working man. I started seeing George as a monster who tells lies without impunity. After the man took out all of his anger on me, he stood up and apologized.
I'm sorry, ma'am. You're also a victim, right? Sorry for losing my temper and raising my voice. Please let me know if there's anything that you'd like me to help you with regarding your husband. If I get the opportunity to punish him, I'm willing to do whatever.
I'm truly sorry for what my husband has done.
Nah, you're not the one at fault. It was wrong of me to lash out my anger towards you.
After that, I gathered more information by asking the other employees to get pieces of evidence of the affair. Everyone was willing to help me with what I was doing. I guess that shows how much George and Crystal were hated by everyone. A few days later, with the cooperation of the employees at my husband's former workplace, I was able to get the internal email exchanges between the two and testimonials of bullying of the new recruits. Serena, one of the employees, came up to me and asked,
Are you alright? Isn't it difficult to collect pieces of evidence from your husband's affair?
But honestly, the more I listened to what they said, I started seeing the true colors of my husband, which led my feelings for him to fade away completely. Then I checked their messages. What's written there were, "I love you, and I'll get a divorce, so marry me, blah blah blah." Every sentence was full of passion. I wanted to punch myself for thinking that I wanted to provide for that bastard. I will never forgive him for trampling on young people with bright futures, who are working hard to make a difference in society. I promised that to myself. One day, I tailed my husband, who had no idea that I knew about the affair. Then the moment they saw each other, George and Crystal started kissing passionately. They did it in broad daylight at the park of all places. However, the two of them were in a world of their own, so they didn't see what was going on around them. Then when I appeared out of nowhere, they both were shocked and went pale.
Huh? What's the meaning of this?
Wait a minute! It's not what you think this is!
I laughed when I saw how pathetically dismayed they were. What is not what I think? I got all the evidence I need to prove your affair with Crystal. But what I can't forgive more than this is how you two bully the new recruits. You should be ashamed of yourselves, you scum of the earth.
How did you know about that too?
That's because I went to your former workplace and listened to what the employees there had to say about you. At first, I only went there to get pieces of evidence of your affair with Crystal, but the more I asked, the more I learned about how you're such a monster. I was completely shocked. Whatever you say now is too late, so brace yourselves. With that said, I left the two of them who were shaking in fear. After that, my husband came to me in tears trying to apologize again and again, saying that he wants me to rethink what I'm about to do. There's no room for me to think about it anymore, though. I told you it's too late for you to apologize. You'll have to go through my lawyer for the rest. I completely ignored him and didn't listen to a single word that George uttered. I just left the number of my lawyer and then evacuated to my parents' house. After that, I asked my lawyer to send to George and Crystal the proof of contents. We successfully got divorced and I ended up with the alimony he paid. And then because I submitted the piece of evidence regarding the bullying and power harassment of the new recruits, a class action lawsuit was filed against George and Crystal because of the large number of employees who have left the company. Because of the moral harassment by those two, the man who got severely depressed was in that group of people. As for me, since I got the alimony too, I don't have a single regret with my husband. But George and Crystal will have to pay for their sins. I don't feel a millimeter of sympathy though.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.